everyone. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're returning. How are you guys today? I hope everyone is doing well. Just running through some products here that I'm going to be showing you. Oh, I forgot to insert the picture. Let me do that. Okay, I did take Inspo from Nailed It for this set. I used almost all the same products she did when she put out this video. Oh, and these are BBP extra long square tips. That's what I was pointing out to you guys, using my Vita Bella hand and all the products I just showed you. Oh, you guys, McCart Grape. I heard about this on Acrylic here. Sorry to jump into a different topic, but that's the bug zapper. If you guys want to know how large the bugs are here, you can listen to that little thing go off. I will try to stop that noise while I'm doing the voiceover, but it's so sporadic. I mean, they just zap when they zap. I have this application sped up. So, back to what I was saying. I was watching Acrylic Cured or Nail It Like Lucy, and she said that she has switched her monomer to the McCart Pro, like fast setting. They have grape, banana, and strawberry scent, and I was like, what? So I picked that up, and I love it. It's great monomer. I still use my Kairose. I think this was the only time I used the grape, but I gotta tell you, I smelled grape on my hands for 2 days after this. And of course, you know, when you file, you smell it again, and it definitely smells like grape. I haven't tried the banana or strawberry. I don't think I will be, because if I bought it again, which I definitely would buy it again, it's great, but I just don't need any monomer. I just wanted to try it. I would buy the grape again just because I love it. It's just such a good grape smell. Like, I know what it smells like, but I just can't put it in words. As soon as you smell it, you'd be like, oh, it smells like a grape Jolly Rancher, I think, maybe. Like, really grape. Awesome. And you can see it holding my birds. You can see it holding my beads together really well, and it is a little faster setting. Nothing that I couldn't manage. It worked beautiful. Didn't clog up my brush, nothing. It was very good. So I agree with her on that. And then back to what I was saying before that, when I was watching V do this set, I was like, oh, I have, oh my gosh, I already forgot the name of this, Fiesta Sista acrylic. I have Luminous Ladies. I have the same acrylic she used for the flower and all this. And it's easy, like none of the art is hard, like for you guys to replicate. I can definitely do the set as well. And boom, I didn't even have to think about a design. And my practice hand is just, all I gotta do is glue on the tips. Let's go, let me do a set, you know? So that's what I had in mind. Immediately, as soon as I laid this Pinky Promise, I was like, this isn't the same color. Not Pinky Promise, Fiesta Sista. Because this looks like Pinky Promise. This is just... So, over the years, NOTPOLISH has changed their colors. Pigments change all the time, too. But some of their colors that they started off with way back in the day have changed. That's just the way it is. Their company has evolved. And so she must be using, in that video, like a 5-year-old jar of Fiesta Sista. Because this is my second or third jar of Fiesta Sista. And it has, for me, always been this color. But I have a nail tech friend who started her journey same time as me and was also watching V and bought this color because of V, because that's why I bought it back in the day. And then I remembered realizing back then that mine wasn't the same color as hers. So that's why the colors are so vastly different. I think I'm going to insert that picture right here. Hold on a second. Of course, that wasn't a second for you guys. I'm right here, right back. But it's coming up right after this clip. And of course, the colors are different. Her lighting is different. But yeah, here comes her set in about 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So this is a set I'm recreating. Mine does not look like hers. I did not realize. Okay, so when you have a picture of something. Oh, this is the first time I'm noticing she put 3D art on the pinky, which I didn't do. The picture was in my phone, and I was recording with my phone, so I had to look at it really good and then go from memory. So I did not do a marble on the index. I did another croc, because I just forgot. I thought it was a croc. And I didn't put any 3D on the pinky, which, like I said, I just now noticed. But this is a recreation, but not exactly the same. Anyway, so I have the application sped up. I did pretty good, only 37 minutes on this. And the reason I have this application sped up because there's no encapsulation, no color blocking, no ombres or anything else, just straight application. And like I said, it went really well. Let's see what else. So, how is everybody? Hope you guys are all doing well. I think I had told you guys, of course, when we get into the design, I will be talking about what I'm doing at that time because I did leave in, like, the mistakes I made. I had to completely remove something and start over, that kind of thing. So that's more the focus of this video than the application, but I left it in. That's why I'm explaining this part, because I usually don't just speed it up. But if you guys have been around a while, you know this is my favorite thing to do, is just all 4 or 5 nails, solid, one color application. I could sit and do this for ages. But I hardly ever get to because most sets aren't solid for me. So I loved this. I loved doing this set. And I'm also getting this set to you out of order. I don't know if you guys pay attention, but the next set that should have come to you isn't this one. But the next set that should come to you was the purple nails from the Inspo set from Vanessa. But I had just put my last video were purple, which are the nails I'm wearing in this video, which I kept on for quite a while. You guys would be proud of me. I did not fill them though. I ended up taking them off all the way and putting my reapplying my hard gel. It was still on, but like fixing it and just putting my gel mani back on. And so what the struggle I've been having is that I have so many videos made and done and edited for you guys, and I'm also almost done with my chisel video as well, including the nail sets I've been posting shorts of. So these are coming a little bit out of order just because I wanted to put like the quicker or more interesting ones up, or instead of purple to purple back to back. And I didn't want to put the chisel up yet just because that will be just swatches. And I think a lot of people want to see like nail sets. Plus I'm not quite done with it yet. But after I did my nail room tour and I had that meeting with my photographer friend about the lighting in my room and glare, and then I'm buying some new lights and mounts and like a new table setup so I don't have this issue anymore of just some of the little problems I've been having with that. One of the things my friend said was that the walls in my room should not be white. They aren't white. They're like oh gosh, I wouldn't say cream. I'm not sure what the color is, but they shouldn't be glossy, and they're like a semi-gloss, which is throwing a glare and a reflection. And that's another reason why my phone like records things kind of pink sometimes. It really, like my background, a lot of things are reflecting that. So I knew I needed to paint my room. So Nessa and I picked out a really light gray color that's not flat, but like semi-flat, something like that. An indoor, obviously, color, and we got black for the ceiling, but I don't think I'm actually going to use the black. I think that's kind of dramatic. So today I was in 2 different cities, well, 3 different, including mine, for 2 different doctor's appointments. Didn't get good news, but it's not the end of the world. Gone all day for that and the grocery store. I left the house at 8 in the morning, didn't get back till 3, so it was just like a really long day of doing all of that. But when I came home, my point is when I came home, she had everything in my nail room all moved to one side and half of it already painted. And just from, so kind of her to do that all by herself for me. And it was almost dry when I got home, so we put it all back. Now I have to move everything on the other side to the other side, and that side is the side with my not polished shelves and the dressers and everything, so that'll be a little bit more to move. And we have to unscrew my silicone polish racks. Those have to come all the way off the wall instead of just like the shelves. As soon as the acrylics are off of the shelves, I can just lift those shelves off because they're like on a hook kind of setup. But that has to actually be like dismounted. My point is that immediately, as soon as I sat down at my desk, just from having one side of the room painted that color, she was so right. The lighting is already so much different in my room, so I'm hoping it's going to make a big difference. So that's kind of neat. But I did just do my nail room tour, and the reason I mentioned that is that I had just got everything perfectly organized and everything in its place. So to have to move it all, including things off the walls, redo my shelves, it's a little bit of anxiety for me, but it's all for a good cause. So we're going to be doing that here this week. We did get the motor started on the boat, and when I say started, it wasn't that it wouldn't start. It's that it's dry docked here, like it's not sitting in water, so you can't really start it, turn the propeller, see if it's working in water. So Ness had to get like a big 50-gallon barrel to dip the engine or propeller in to be able to start it. Oh, right here, see how you can see my sidewall of the tip? At that angle, it's a little dramatic. You can see from this angle of my sidewalls, from these nails, that you can't see that tip unless you turn it like almost all the way over. But one thing that will help your shaping and your filing is if you really use that as your guideline so that you can still see, like as I'm going here right now, you can see that I can still see the very little bit of sliver of my clear tip. Because I used to think I had to cover that. I used to think I had to bring the acrylic over that and really like get it on the sides, but keep it off the sides. In other words, keep the sides narrow or keep it thin there. But if you actually don't even bring it to there and always keep that sliver of your tip showing, your shape will improve immediately just from that. FYI, hot tip. And for my OGs that have been around a long time, please bear with me if it sounds like I'm repeating myself because I have said all these things before, but I have new subs and several beginners, so I just want to make sure I impart things I notice I'm doing along the way. So sometimes if you guys hear me repeating myself, that is why. I want to make sure that everyone, instead of me just blabbing about my personal life through the application, I want to make sure that I am helping anyone learn as we go. I don't think I kept filing in this video. Let's see. Oh, the conundrum that I was mentioning to you guys that I have is I have like 5 or 6 videos done. I have just have to do the voice. I have them edited, all but one, and I just have to do the voiceover for each to be able to get you guys out a couple videos a week. The content is there, but I literally have to choose how to spend my time. Do I sit down and do a voiceover, or do I do a set? And inevitably I want to do a set. Like just yesterday I did a set on my own hand after doing like 2 or 3 on my practice hand. It's because I was wearing these nails. Like I did wear them for a couple of weeks, which was shocking to me. So anyway, there are videos to come. But I have to force myself to not do nails. So I think, so tomorrow the construction men are showing up. It's 2 in the morning right now on Thursday morning. So I will get this out to you guys today, Thursday. But he will be here in 6 hours to dry out our HVAC because it is flooded and molded and our floors and walls are ruined. The drywall is sopping wet. Yeah. Okay, here's how we look in application only. Yeah, I didn't show any filing. Here's how we are looking after filing and a little bit of buffing because I think, was that a matte top coat? I think I did a matte top coat first because I was doing some nail art. Yeah. A really, 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 really thin layer. That's why it looks strange that I'm doing this. Because this is not my final top coat. This is just to make my surface good for like drawing Frenchies and that kind of thing. So I'm going in super thin with my matte. I'm going to be using these gels. These 2 gels, the blue and these 2 that I just put on the palette, she used. And then she used like a limey green to mix because what we want is that pastel green and then like a brighter green than that. And to get that, you're going to mix basically those two colors that I have down there. So that's what I'm going to do. And so it's going to be a pastel green and a darker pastel green. I'm going in with Blossom Gel, a thin layer all over the whole nail. This is NOTPOLISH's Blooming Gel. And then I'm going to mix up so that this is a darker pastel green, and I'm going to do a croc design that I do not do right. And after I cure it and see it sitting there for a while after I've done a few nails, I realize I hate it, and I completely remove this and start over later on. I used to have no problem doing croc. No problem doing anything with Blooming Gel. It was the easiest thing, and I would do it almost every set, but I have not been able to get it right lately. Well, in my mind, it just has not been looking good. It's like my angles or something. Well, it's not something. It's my angles. The angles and the shapes and the way I'm drawing it on, whether I use a dotting tool or a brush. Also, the darker pastel green that I mixed is not showing up very well in this video, but there were two very contrasting colors. One was definitely darker than the other, but it didn't come out very clear in my video. I do end up mixing more, or mixing it all the way together later, and I think that one might come out a little bit better. I'm not sure I had enough green in that there. So yeah, I end up absolutely hating this croc. It does not look like hers, even though I specifically stopped the video. Do you hear that? Literally, whatever bug that my zapper just fried was that big. Do you hear this? Oh. Okay. And after that, like right now, this whole room smells like electric fried bug. Like sometimes it's like chokes you out if there's multiple bugs back to back. Any of you guys that live in the South, do you go through this? This is just insane, the amount of summer bugs. But I will say that I saw tonight for the first time, well, for the first time since I was a kid, because I did see them when I was a kid and we used to come here for the summer. But fireflies, I have a whole bunch in my backyard tonight. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful and magical, and I just love it. And I can't wait for them to like really start coming out when it gets hot, hot. So sometimes the bugs are cool. Oh, and then I found a Luna moth. Never seen one of those before. She was bigger than my hand. Absolutely stunning. Oh my gosh, you guys. So here on my palette, you can see that we definitely have two different colors there, but it was just hard to say. I don't know. V-Set, of course, came out way better than mine, and I had to do this Frenchie twice because I had my smile line way too narrow. I needed it much wider like I did it here. That's what I was going for. That's why I erased that. And I mentioned to you guys before that my issue doing Frenchies has never been the smile line. For whatever reason, the smile line just never been a problem. I mean, you know, sometimes if I'm not using a brush that works well, like I've told you guys before, my Frenchie game improved a whole lot when I got this brush because it stays on the nail. But even with not a good brush, a smile line isn't my problem. It is getting the sides the right, like them, like right here, I just feel like they come in too far toward the center of the nail. It should be narrower. I don't know. It's my sides, the side walls and the sides of my Frenchie, that they never look like anybody else's. They don't look right. I don't know. So I went in, I did the Frenchie with the lighter pastel, and I'm going to go in and ombre and cure in between the layers and ombre some more with this little sponge, making just the tip of the Frenchie a little bit darker. And I'm going to go in with this drop gel. And the last time I used this, I was able to do both sides of the nail and it stayed in place without me curing it. But I think because it's getting warmer that like see how I have it on both sides? Well, by the time I turned the nail to the other side, those were already melting into each other, which did not happen to me the last time I did this with this same gel. So it could have been that I was kind of holding it at this angle, but see how they blended into each other, and I tried to make it work and it didn't, so I have to remove this too. The next one I did, I sprayed with alcohol and just wiped it off, and the next one I did, I cured one side at a time. I do have this part sped up for you guys too, because right now I'm like, forget it. It does not look like croc. There are just a bunch of smears all over. There's no pattern. And then the next one I do, I don't think I even got that good of a pattern on it anyway. I'd rather do just straight across croc, the regular croc that everyone else does, like, or that we used to just do, like regular croc. That I can do, but these ones that come from the side, and I've been starting to use this vacuum again, and I realized that if I go real slow over this and real light, that I won't make the little beads that I was talking about in my other video. So I removed that and I buffed it back out. I don't know if I went back in with the matte top coat though. But yeah, the super cute croc that people have been doing lately, where it like comes from the side and it looks like it's like fanning out, and it's coming from like the side wall to the center, and I can never get the angle right. I'm gonna have to really, really practice that. Guess what I did though, you guys? Some of you might have noticed because I posted the short of the set I did yesterday, did a pride set, so it was a rainbow set on myself. And for the first time ever, I did chrome seamlessly. Do you see right there? I was trying to get like that fanned out look. I just cannot get the angles right. I can see in my mind how I'm supposed to do it. I know how I'm supposed to do it. My finger, my hand won't do it. This is what I try to explain to people over and over again when I say I'm not artistic. My hand does not compute, and everyone tells me, people who are artistic like Vanessa, if you just practice, and yes, some things have gotten better with practice, but some things my hand just will not do. My eye versus what my hand does just does not match. Anyway, that has been a lifelong struggle for me. Just lifelong, where I cannot, the hand, what's in my mind never computes to the hand. Anyway, the chrome. So I bought the same products. I've literally will be using the same product that I asked someone else, okay, how did you get your chrome to look like that? It looks like a mirror. It went on seamlessly. None of it stuck anywhere else to the nail. It only stuck to your liner gel. Or I watched Tao use, okay, we're going to put on a matte top coat. We're going to buff it out just a little bit. I'm talking about the base of the nail. Then we're going to go in with a not polished liner gel and rub the not polished chrome on it. I do the same exact thing with the same liner gel, all the exact same products, and that doesn't work. The chrome sticks everywhere but the liner, or it sticks to nothing, or it sticks to everything and completely ruins my set. I can't do it. It's been my whole nail journey. And I've maybe got chrome to work like 1 or 2 times, but never seamlessly, easily on all of the nails. You guys, I was literally almost crying. I got it to work all 5 times the first time. And the reason why is because of Gabby Bomb Nails anti-chrome matte top coat. And I know that she's not the only brand that has that, but it's the only thing that has ever worked for me. And that is gold in a bottle. You guys are going to be seeing chrome from me now. Like all the times that I've wanted to just do a little chrome accent. I have some beautiful silky chromes from Not Polish. Jewel tones, just absolutely gorgeous, perfect for summer. And even just doing a chrome outline on a French, never been able to do it because I'll do all the steps and it won't stick to the liner. And I know there's different curing times, like cure it less, if this and that, which I've been hearing and learning lately, but have been so frustrated with chrome over the years. I just don't even want to try any of these things anymore because none of it works for me. So yeah, anyway, I did get it to work perfectly. You guys, if you have any of these gold charms on your nails, like this seahorse, these stars, these beads over here, the caviar beads, top coat them because they will turn green after a little while with on your set or your client's set. So we don't want to top coat any bling. We don't want to top coat like the starfish or anything, but any of the other little golden pieces, definitely top coat those. This is a glow. This is one of their strongest glowing colors. So I'm going to go in with a wetter bead than usual. And I'm going to do, I still have to get out my airbrush, you guys, and try it. I'm going to go in with like an airbrush look. I'm just giving an aura. Aura, that's what it's called. So this is the first or second time I'm doing an aura nail with acrylic. I've done it with acrylic before, but where I brushed it on, kind of like in an ombre fashion, where you just build it and build it and build it, kind of like I did to the ring finger Frenchie, but with dry acrylic, like as a pigment. But I've never done it, not never, I think I might have tried it before one time, with wet beads. And it was pretty easy. It came out okay. You just have to remember before it dries to blend out your sides really good, like I'm doing here, which is just getting a wet brush and tap, 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 patting it till it's blended, till it's really thin and it doesn't look like there's a harsh line there. That's kind of the trick to this. Use a wet bead and blend your edges. When V did this set, she immediately said that she shouldn't have even done the aura because her flower covered it. So I knew from her saying that I should make my aura bigger because I wanted it to show. So I learned from her mistake, which is literally one of the reasons why we watch these videos, right? So that was great that she had a little hack slash fix in there. This gold brush that's laying to the right, that is the new 3D brush that I got from JC Beauty Concepts. I have a 3D brush from NOTPOLISH, a 3D brush from Kairose. The Kairose is my favorite thus far. My NOTPOLISH, I don't know if I ruined it, but I cleaned it with Swipe the first time I used it, and since then it's not wanted to lay back down flat. And since it's Kolinsky and not a nail art brush, I'm not sure if I can put it in hot water or if I should, since it's a brush and not a liner. Because I did hear Drea, I think it was Drea, say that when she learned about the hot water trick with brushes, that she put all of her acrylic brushes in hot water and promptly ruined them all. You should only do that to a liner brush. So anyway, the only one that has stayed perfect and is tiny and precise is this JC Beauty Concepts one. This one, you guys, is a gem. So this is the first time I'm ever doing these type of flowers, so I do make a couple of mistakes, and I also have acetone in my monomer. So this is drying rather quickly, not leaving me very much room for mistakes, but I didn't want it to be runny. So I would rather deal with it drying fast and fix any mistakes I have. I do end up going in with a gold disco liner gel that I have to completely remove because, again, my mind knows what artistically I should do, but my hand isn't doing it. And it just wasn't working for me. So I had to take that off. It literally looked like a kindergartner did it. So these flowers are usually built with gel. I'm doing it with acrylic. When B did it with acrylic, and I know other people have done it with acrylic. I think Sarah has, and I've seen other nail techs do it with acrylic also. I already knew that even though I bought some gel specifically to start making these flowers because they're so popular, so trending, and the only reason that these have grown on me at all is because I've seen people do them where they look pretty, and even if they're large, they can look delicate and beautiful. I think when they begin to look ugly is when you go get a pink polish and literally use the brush from the bottle and start slobbing colors all over the middle of it till it looks like a kindergartner was finger painting on it. That, I do not like that look. I have not come around to that look, but I have come around to like this big, glossy, jelly looking flower. So I do like that. And I did add some of the green luminous ladies to the center for like some center color instead of going in with gel polish in the center. And also I'm glad, I'm kind of liking that I can a little bit see the aura through the center of this flower. But that goes away once I put the luminous ladies in the center. This was a hard angle to get, getting this petal done right. This was hard. And I knew right then that I had messed up the center. And right here, I'm going to mess it up some more. But I didn't know how to get the rest of the petal shaped right without pulling these beads through to the center. And once I started building the center up too much, I knew I needed to brush it down, and luckily it didn't make a mistake. I also knew I was going to be going in with luminous ladies here in the center, as well as some caviar beads and gel, so I wasn't too worried if the center looked off. What I didn't want was my petals, like this area, to look bad, so I kind of sacrificed that part of it. And this one ended up looking smaller than the other one because this was just a hard angle to do. But I think it came out okay, especially for my first try. So I'm going to go in with this, like I mentioned, and I'm just going to really, really wet spread it through to give the center of the flower some color instead of gel polish, like I mentioned. I didn't want that look. I just have not come around to that look yet. I've seen some people do it with like a more of a clear jelly polish, or a very light layer where it still looks delicate. And also what I tried to do, which is put like a thin wispier accents of color that give pattern to the flower, like the threads of color that you might paint on after that. I tried doing that, and even when I was going in with it thin, I just wasn't putting it in the right place. Again, in my mind's eye, was not converting to what I was doing on the nail, so I had to completely take that off. And to make this flower look like the gel flowers, how they look glossy and everything instead of matte like a 3D flower is, I'm going to use this multifunctional gel from Balm Nails. Multifunctional meaning you can use it as nail glue, you can use it as anything that you would use a gel for, including top coat. So that's what I'm using this for. I'm just going to completely get some of this on the flower, like leave kind of a tiny, tiny little blob in the little parts of the flower. I let it settle for a little while so it looks like the flower itself is made from gel, because I want it to dry with that like wet looking surface. I'm going to place my caviar beads in the middle, and then I'm going to cure that, and then I'm going to go in with a few little more accents, like I put a couple of pearls and silver charms around the flower, up top a little bit. That little case of bling down there on the bottom left, I believe Kiara sent me that. Thank you, Kiara, if you are the one that sent me these. And I can't remember where I used these. Oh, I wanted to show you guys the glow real quick. Yeah, that's right. I do use these in a couple places because they're so pretty. They're just little, they're not glass. I don't know what kind they are, but they're super cute. And they're just so like pastel, and they just matched the set. Also, those other decorations that you saw me putting on that looked like creamy rocks, those were little busted up seashells that I got in a kit from Amazon. If you guys want to know where I got it, let me know. I can send you the link. But V had done an iced coffee set. If you guys know, you know. And she had left those seashells, that product, linked in her Amazon storefront to use as the ice cubes for the set. So that is when I bought that. So here I realized right away, no, that's too thick of a liner, but I wanted to get that. I'm sure you can see what I'm going for here by using this. So I use a thinner one. This works so much better, but I'm still placing it in the wrong spots. Instead of outlining the flower, I should have come from the caviar beads with like one or two tiny little sprigs in the center of the flower. This outlining that I'm doing is just, why, Jen? That's not even how it goes. So I don't know why I was doing this or what made me do it this way. But after that looked okay, I did it on another one, and that looked okay too. So I just thought I'm going to cure in between and see if I can get those little stripes coming out the center right with this brush. And no, it just looks terrible. Oh my gosh. So I end up e-filing it off, you guys. I have to replace the gel and everything. But like always, I am leaving my process in so that you guys can. Just like I learned from V's mistakes, maybe you guys can too. I was trying to do that here, and it just was no. Because this wasn't going on fine. You had to use kind of a thicker glob of it to get it to show up, since it's mostly glitter. So that I think it was a combination of too small of a space, using too much gel, but having to use too much gel because it was not showing up unless I kind of added it, like loaded my brush, and just complete user error, me just not knowing how to be artistic and not be heavy-handed. But that was relatively easy. I just removed the gold, and I'm just going to go back in with that gel. And that is pretty much the set, you guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know how I did on my recreation or my inspo. And I did notice during final pictures that some of the little pieces of gold glitter were still remaining on the flower, and it looked cute that way, so I left it. So I really didn't care for this set. Once I did it, I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. It's pretty cute, but it didn't come out how I wanted it to, and I feel like that about a lot of sets. But all right, you guys, this is going to shut off. I don't want to end up talking past the end. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.